Hello, it is September 5th, 2024, and I look a little different because I had surgery on my eye, just a little tiny surgery with a little needle and a cauterization thing, and I had a little cyst, and so I can't put eye makeup on my eye for a little while. But it doesn't hurt. There's no bruising. She did an incredible job. I lost a couple eyelashes, but other than that, I'm okay. It was totally benign. Nothing's wrong with it. Everything's good. But I have this thing that I'm doing where if I have little procedures that I need to have done, I'm trying to do them to kind of ramp up for, the hip surgery. And the next thing I'm going to do is go to the dentist and, I have a tooth back here that's broken and just make sure that my mouth is healthy because apparently when you have your hip replaced, you really have to be careful of bacteria that gets in your mouth because the way blood runs through the body when you have an infection and like basically blood can rush to the surgery site because it's trying to heal and you can end up with more bacteria. You can get a really bad infection in the area where your surgery was. So we are going to do our best to have a nice healthy mouth and so no cursing. I was saying only positive nice things so that my mouth stays good and healthy. um but yeah, so I'm going to be doing that. And yeah, I'm just kind of preparing. I have a little thing that like it has all my appointments listed, and it popped up the other day that I have the appointment for January, so that's gonna be exciting. Yeah, it's stressful, but it's like it's happy stress. I'm still figuring out exactly, what I'm gonna do after the surgery and trying to figure all that stuff out because we're not doing the plastic surgery first. Um, it means that the hip part is going to be more difficult. But it was going to be difficult either way, but it's exhausting to like think of all the variables. And so I'm just going to have faith that it'll work out and be okay. But yeah, I'm trying to walk the 800 to 1,000 steps every day. Um Yesterday I went to the CVS on a whim to go get my prescription. I was going to wait until I didn't have a full day of stuff I had already done because I'm always trying to kind of conserve battery life. And but I was like, you know what? Let's go. So I grabbed Uber was cheap. There's like a little promotion that was going on, so I got a cheaper Uber. Um, and so I got in the Uber and I went to the store, and it was interesting. First of all, the lady who helped me was the lady who gave me my flu shot and my tetanus shot and my COVID shot. And she remembered me, which is really nice. And but one of the things that happens when I go into a store is I have this like feeling of like find something to buy because you're never coming back here again. Because when I was 500 pounds, going out and doing anything was such a rare thing. It was like if you need something, grab it because you're never going to do this again. But like right now, if I needed something from the CVS, I could get in an Uber and go. And my brain still hasn't gotten to that place where it's like I can go and do things. That has been an interesting adjustment. Um, and going like to the doctor and stuff, all of that stuff has been nice, but also an adjustment because now I'm starting to talk to more people. And now, I'm saying like, I'm having a hip replacement. They're like, aren't you young for a hip replacement? And trying to figure out how to navigate that, where it's like, do I want to tell the whole backstory? Or honestly, what I've kind of been doing is telling them how I originally hurt my hip. And when I was, you won't be surprised by this, but when I was 18, I was in New York City and I did the Mary Tyler Moore spin thing. And I didn't know that the curb had ended. And I stepped down into the street and jammed my leg up into my hip socket. And ever since then, it was painful. So technically, that's how I hurt my hip. And it makes for a more whimsical story than, okay, so sit down and let me tell you what's been going on the last 3 years. Stranger who maybe doesn't want to hear the whole life and times of Christy. Um, it's been an interesting experience getting to talk to people. Sometimes very interesting. I got into a lift and the person who's driving didn't speak English, they spoke Spanish. And I've been, yo aprendo español un poquito. And when I asked him if he spoke Spanish, his whole face lit up. And we spent the whole drive pointing at things and telling each other what they were in our respective languages. And as the car ride got longer, it got more progressively, are you single? And like, I don't know, it wasn't scary, but it got a little bit uncomfortable. But um it turned out okay. And uh yeah, so there's been a couple of those. I did have a really I don't think I told you this. This is really cute. There was one morning I was going down to get coffee because in the morning we get coffee and I'm trying to walk more. So I went to go get coffee. And as I'm walking, there's this little old man in like pajama bottoms. And we go walking towards each other. And I was like, good morning. And he's like, good morning. And as I was talking to him, he turned his head to look at me. And the coffee in his cup overflowed all over the place. And I was like, I'm so sorry, because it was my fault. I was distracting him. It wasn't that he wasn't paying attention. It was me talking to him. And the coffee's really hot and it got on his hand and he used like 70 and he's so sweet. And I was just like, oh, so I'm helping him clean up the area. And he said, you know, when there's a pretty girl, you have to look at her and pay attention when she speaks to you. And I was just like, his name was Edwin. So clearly I'm going to marry him because he was so charming. But um as we were talking, I helped him clean up, but I was really worried about his hand. And so I said, Edwin, can I see your hand? I want to make sure you're okay. And so I picked up his hand. And when I did, he picked it up and he kissed the back of my hand. So clearly, again, I'll let you know when the wedding's going to be because he was just the best. But little interactions like that have been really cool. And I'm really enjoying getting to be part of the world again. I went to church 2 weeks in a row, which I hadn't done in like 10 years, just because I simply couldn't go. And now I can. And I think I could before, but it's just like things don't occur to me because I spent such a long time not being able to do anything. So sometimes I don't realize I can do something until like, oh, and then it's like, oh, okay, we go. And it's just like I had my first it was an almond latte with peppermint and lavender, which it sounded like a good idea for a candle, so I thought it'd be a good idea for a latte, and it was. I highly recommend it. Try it sometime. But yeah, like I'm making friends in real life. My aunt came over for coffee, and oh my gosh, hang on. Okay, so my aunt came over for coffee. I had to show you this. And I haven't seen her in like 10 years. We went, my cousin and my aunt and I went for lunch like a month or so back, and I hadn't seen them in 10 years. And it was just so nice to get to see them. But my aunt came over to just have coffee at my apartment. She was my very first visitor who wasn't Rick. And she got me a present. And she didn't need to get me a present, but she did. And so when you see it, you'll understand why I'm so excited. So she got me this box, and it's full of little tiny penguin people. Can you see them? Oh my God. Okay. Oh, I can't show you them all, but just trust me, they're so cute. And so with them, she also gave me these little cards and these little bags. And there's actually more little penguins that I didn't show you that are even smaller. But it says, your pocket penguin. Here's a hug while I can't be there. Put me in your pocket and carry me everywhere. So I could take these little pocket penguins and just like put them in their little bags and just like leave them places for people to find and have like a little pocket penguin. Like, honestly, that is maybe the most thoughtful gift I've ever received because it's so like exactly my jam. So getting to do stuff like that has been really cool, and getting to spend time with people in real life has been really cool. And I still get really kind of exhausted, and the hip really like the more I try to practice walking on it, the more it hurts. But I'm trying to keep just going because my doctor said that it's not going to fail, it's not going to fall off, it's just going to hurt a lot, and it's probably going to hurt more and more as the closer we get. And so I'm just trying to be strong, tolerate pain, and it'll be okay. But I'm operating within my limits and trying to push them at the same time. But you know, going to church once a week, that's one day a week. I know for sure I'm going to be going out, and it's not just for a doctor's thing, it's actually for something fun that I enjoy and I get something out of. So that's wonderful. Um, and just, man, I get to hug people. Oh, the amount of hugs. Like, I have so many things. Like, I know I haven't talked to you in a while, but like, um, whenever I get groceries, I leave the door open. And one of the girls said, I love when you get groceries because the whole hallway smells like your wax melts. And because I have Rice Krispie scented wax melts and they smell super good. And the other day, she brought in people who were thinking of coming to live here. And she said, I wanted to show them a pretty apartment. And because she had the lights and everything, so she wanted to show them. And the lady said, it smells so nice in here. And I said, oh, I have wax melts, because we can't have candles. And she was like, no, no, I don't think it's the Rice Krispie treats. It's something else. And it turned out it was my perfume. And she said, it's you. She goes, it's just this warm and welcoming smell. And I'm like, I smell warm and welcoming. And I hugged a total stranger. And she hugged me back. It wasn't like weird. It was like a thing. And I had like, there used to be a time where I could have told you the last 5 hugs I got, and there would be years in between them, aside from, my family. And now it's like, I couldn't even tell you all the hugs that I get to have. And all the little handshakes and all the little like taps on the arm. And like for me, those are really big deals. And like getting to like share what it's like to be really excited about life, but trying to not be annoying and crazy at the same time. Because I don't want people to think I'm completely off my rocker. But I'm just really enjoying everything, And the hip surgery is going to be rough. But when it's over, I'm going to have this whole new set of skills of being able to walk and stand up straight and walk at my full height. And yeah, there's going to be the skin and we'll get that taken care of eventually as well. But it's like, man, there's so much really cool stuff. So much really cool stuff that is coming up. And I'm just excited for it all. So yeah, I just wanted to share a whole bunch of things kind of just whoa, whoa, whoa. But it's been a time. And I have recorded a bunch of these and I've probably told some of these stories already and I just never shared them yet. So I tried to fit them all in. But yeah, it's been a good time. So I love you. Thank you for listening and being excited for little things that are big things. Because I know sometimes we forget how good the little things are and how big the little things are and how important the little things are. And I'm so excited to get to be reminded and to remind other people, So anyway, I'm going to go and put some ointment on my eyelid, which is healing nicely. I promise everything's good. But I love you and I'll talk to you soon.